20th, 2010. We're talking with Dr. Kaminski at MCC. Dot, when did you first come to the college?
Summer of 1976, I joined the staff.
And what was your job here at that time?
At that time, starting out, I was a secretary. I started out in student affairs working for the director of financial aid, and I was working for him for like 2 years when John Segrist left, and Dr. Bandis was the dean of administrative affairs who asked me to come and work for him. And I joined him and stayed in administrative affairs and worked my way up to administrative assistant. And when he retired, I started working for Tom Bevere, who took over as the dean of administrative affairs. And I worked with Dr. Bandis for the master plan for the Low building. That was the first building that I worked on. And after that, I worked with Tom Bevere for the master plan for the entire school.
Now, when you came to the college, where was your office?
In the East Campus, the old buildings, the trailers. It was very different. It was very nice. I was very happy to be a part of it because it was so much like a family, like a community unto itself. Everybody was so nice. And I had actually been here a little while before because I started taking classes. So I was actually a student before I worked here.
Was it strange or peculiar changing from a student to an employee?
Yes, it was, but I actually felt a little more comfortable because I was familiar with the buildings and the people, and the faculty members were wonderful.
Who were some of the faculty members that you remember from that period?
Well, I had Evelyn Miller for English, and let's see, my favorite psych professor was Dick Day, Dr. Day, and let's see, I had Dr. Arnold, John Crowley, Susan, please. Let's see. Oh, there were so many because I stayed and I took classes for 10 years. I ended up with a 1-year certificate and 2 associates, and then went to Eastern for my bachelor's. So I was a student for a long time while I worked through all of this. And Toby Tamarkin was wonderful, too, because I had her for Spanish, which was fun.
So when you were working here, were you still taking courses
Yes,
here?
I took my classes nights and weekends. And actually, some of the classes I took were with Nancy Haw and Candy Tatro, and we teamed up for some of our papers. And let's see, and Marie Solomon and I took classes together. It was very interesting. It was a lot of hard work because I was married and I have 4 children. So working full-time and raising a family and doing all these classes, and my husband would laugh and say, "What are you doing between midnight and 6? Why don't you get a job at Pratt?" So it was just a lot of hard work, but we both did it together. You know, we worked hard. And it was good because the people here were very supportive.
What was it like working in the East Campus and helping out to plan the building of the Low building?
It was very interesting. I learned so much from Dr. Bandis. He was a very, very strict dean, but he always said, "You're going to Bandis University now." And I learned so much from him, and it was so enlightening to see it take place, the whole progress. It was amazing to see how it started and what it went through. And I've enjoyed working here, and I've worked with all of the presidents all the way through and was on the inauguration committees for all of them. It was very nice. It's been an interesting growth for me.
And then later on, you were involved in the planning of the campus that we're in right
Yes,
now?
with Tom, yes. And I think my name is in a little book that's in the library, you know, the master planning book, as part of that committee. And that was very, very interesting. A lot of hard work to go out, and as Tom went through the process to gain money and to get community support, and all the meetings and just all the organization of it was just wonderful. A lot of hard work.
So how do you feel walking around this campus and knowing that you had a part in its creation?
My part is not as important as Tom's and Dr. Daube's, but I'm very proud of Tom Bevere for the work he did. So I'm proud of this school.
Now, obviously, as a student and as an employee, you have a lot of contact with MCC students. What was your impression of the students who go here?
I'm very proud of the students. We have a student in the president's office who is absolutely marvelous, Jessica. She is a wonderful student, and she is really the pinnacle of students. Some of the students have not had as much drive as I'd like to see them have, but I think that's changing. I think they're really getting into it. We have a lot more younger students than we used to. We had more adult students. But now I see the younger students here, and I think they're doing fine. I think it's a good place. Manchester Community College has made it possible for so many people who could not have gotten an education if it wasn't for this school. So I have a lot of respect for it. And my brother went here. He's the one who got me to go back to school. When he came back from the war, he was a career serviceman, and when he came back from Vietnam, he took classes here back when Wayne Connolly was the director of admissions. And, you know, it's so good to see now they have this OASIS program for the returning vets. There's so much here to offer between the Learning Center and the guidance and this tutoring program. I just think it's a wonderful place. And I used to get teased that I was on commission because I was drumming up so many students to come here. But that's because I like it here.
Now, you've lived in the area for many years.
Yes.
What do you think the impression or the image of MCC is within the community?
I think now it's changed. Years ago, I would hear people say, I don't want my child to go there. I want them to go to a real college. Now, they're so impressed with MCC because word of mouth alone, the faculty they give such quality education, and the word is good. I never hear anything bad about MCC.
Looking back at the years that you worked here, are there any events or moments that really stand out in your mind? Highlights?
I find every day that I came here was good to me, and the support that I received from the people here when my husband passed away has been phenomenal. So that in itself was a big thing to me. But for the college's events, every turn of the page was a new adventure. It was wonderful working with people like Jackie Unnan, and just all of the people here made it special. So,
what was it like to work for Jack Gannon? How would you describe him?
He was very smart, very good, and very lighthearted, and he could keep a serious situation light, so I wouldn't stress so much, which I thought was good because I'm a worrier. Even Tom would say to me, I don't lose any sleep at night. I let you do all my worrying for me, and I did. I was a worrier, but working with Jackie would make things lighten up a little bit. So I like him. It was nice.
Can you look back and point to anything that you're most proud of in terms of an accomplishment?
A personal accomplishment or the college's accomplishment?
Well, let's start with personal, and then both. So how about a personal accomplishment?
Well, my personal accomplishment was to finish to the point that I could my education, doing what I was doing. That was a big challenge for me. So that final graduation was a big accomplishment. But I remember the first time I graduated here, Dr. Vandis gave me a bouquet of flowers. So that was kind of sweet of him. Things like that, just little touching moments.
And how about an accomplishment of the college that you're really proud of?
I think seeing the fulfillment of these buildings is just an amazing accomplishment. That's my biggest thing, to see this college grow from the classes at Hartford Road to grow to where we are today is just phenomenal. It's marvelous, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
If you were talking to someone who was just about to start their career working at MCC next month, what advice would you give that person?
Just be respectful, be nice, because the people here are nice, and so I think you have to be nice back. I think that's the most important thing, is to be respectful. Whether it's faculty, staff, students, whatever their level is, it doesn't matter to me. I think you need to be respectful to people.
Is there anything else that you want to say? Anything that we have not covered?
No, I think I'm set. It's marvelous to be here, though.
Thank you for being here.
No, you're very welcome.